Welcome back to the Enfield 8000, where this time we're sorting out the doors, particularly the driver's door. I removed both doors earlier in the year, but you can see this is suffering from a similar problem where the water collects in the rubbers around the windows and rusts through the steel surrounds. This one's actually not too bad. On the driver's side it had gone completely through and this was loose. Likewise, this lower channel here really does suffer and rusts through and rusts out, and I've got a stainless replacement. Curiously, the door frame on this side was worse than the driver's side, and I've had to put quite a large patch in here. It's taken me about 3 months to get to the stage where the door frame is ready to put back together. First of all, I decided to paint both the inside of the door skin, which is aluminium, and the steel frame of the door. So I've done quite a bit of repair to this door, particularly at the lower ends here. And this bit here is entirely new all the way across, and there's another repair at this end as well. But the rest of the door is pretty much as is. There was a nasty dent in the door here which I've got out, and I've had to put a little repair in the corner. But other than that, the door is pretty much as ready to go. I spent quite a bit of time making sure I knew how and which way round the door skin was going to go back on. I knew I had to get it right first time. I applied the adhesive to the flanges and then put it together the way I was expecting to. I actually hooked the bottom corner in first and then got the flange in at the top. I started on the rear edge, which I did hammer to shape, and I did start hammering along the bottom. I put a little bit more adhesive in between the joint, but then discovered that my welding clamps would fold the relatively soft aluminium around the steel flange quite quickly and quite effectively. So although I continued to use the hammer on the corners and some of the awkward edges, I then started to clamp everything because I needed it to glue nicely, so I wanted the pressure. I then put a little bit of Sikaflex underneath the internal door bar to stop it from rattling, and I did then reapply a couple of rivets at each end, just so I could remove the clamps temporarily. The middle section underneath the windscreen was a little bit more tricky, but I managed to clamp it with some extra bars underneath. On this occasion I've used Sikaflex. I've used it to join the seams, partly to seal them and partly to make sure they don't move. It also means I'm hoping that I don't need to use rivets through this section. I had a section here where the turnover had come loose, so by using Sikaflex I can stick it back down without expecting it to move. Got to leave it to set now, but I think that door is done. Another job done on the restoration of the Enfield 8000.